What up, folks? Happy Friday. You want to do this stuff correctly. There's nothing to be afraid of until you start doing things incorrectly. You're buying high at the premium, selling low at the discount, not expecting capitulations. That's why I talk about these things. These are words that you don't really hear anywhere else. Capitulation. A push to the downside. The market makers will push it to the downside. We can try to come up with all these explanations as to why. I don't really need to know why. I can go to Gareth Soloway and he'll talk about a lot of the why. He's very good with his fundamental analysis. That's why I can't really do what he does, but he can't do what I do. He doesn't know the number scale. And it's not about signals. It's not about how much I make. It's about how much I don't lose. That's a good one. Managing risk, top shelf risk management, risk tolerance, risk threshold. I had almost 100 alerts go off yesterday, over and over and over for all day. I didn't too much care for it because I had to go and adjust. I call it an audit. When my alerts go off, I have to go address the alert and make sure I put the alert at the next level that I would like to see to give me inclination of what's going on. But it's the whole market. It's not like, oh, it's just this sector, it's just the crypto sector. You know, it was everything. Metals, I got out of my metals trades way too early. I wasn't happy about that when I look back on it. I caught the top. They say you can't call the top, but short term, right? I can catch tops and bottoms all day, right? Caught the bottom on Bitcoin and a bottom, a very good bottom. If you look at the scale, 65K, we already said that's if 65K is not the bottom, then it's probably 40K. That's just how the scale works. And that's what I teach. No one else teaches this. I'm very proud to be able to say that I have something that no one else does in a game that we're all involved in, whether we want to agree to it or not. You're involved. If you have a 401k, most people, I don't, but most people have a 401k and they're involved. Whenever the market dips like this, dips because you want to see 50%, 60% on the dip to say that it's a crash. Because right now the S&P, if I'm not mistaken, it only dropped by between 10 and 20%. And you got people ready to jump off the bridge. No, 40 to 50%. Then you'll be having a gnashing of teeth. For real. This is nothing. Now Bitcoin dropped from 125 to 100, right? That's 25%. And then from 100K to 60 yesterday. That's 40% plus the 25. That's almost 80%, or no, 60% to 70%. Now, what if it drops down from 60K down to 40K? That's another 20%. So that would be a 60 to 80% retracement on Bitcoin, which would be considered a black swan. But nobody seems to expect it. You should be expecting these things. Why is it that everybody wants to cry as if it couldn't happen? Well, you don't have the number scale. If you see the number scale, you understand where the discount levels are. I've been talking about this ever since I've developed the concept. And I enjoy watching price respect the scale. It's not a respect of no man. It doesn't respect me. It does what it wants to do. It didn't stop at 65 on the money. No, it went through a little bit, which gives you the idea that maybe 65 is not the bottom. It might be 40K. But I'm not buying Bitcoin, so it really doesn't matter to me. It's just a price map to let me know what else is going to happen throughout the markets, because Bitcoin is becoming a measurement tool for the entire market, not just for crypto. It's a leading indicator for the entire market. Everything followed Bitcoin down because at first it was getting treated like the redhead stepchild. And then the rest of the market followed suit. Even the metals followed. Because usually when there's fear like this, metals will go up, and they didn't, right? This is forward testing at its best. This is what I do best, forward test. I don't back test. I'll look back, but I don't really care about what's really happening back there. I care about the price structure. You don't have anything without the price. And I will continue to repeat these things. So we had a decent week. Most people who understand what I teach will have a decent week. And these helicopters, I'm up on this hotel. Nothing but helicopters all morning, I guess, doing the news on the freeways or whatever. But shout out to what we would call a vacation. I don't really vacation, but taking a little bit of a breather. But yeah, January, February, March, what people would consider to be the first quarter, it's really the second quarter. We could be dropping from January to February into March and April, like last year for the tariff scare. When we got to the bottom in April, the top that we came from was a January top. So you just have to understand, like, this happens every year. It's not like it's brand new. So why do people keep making the same mistakes over and over and over again? Because the market is based on pulling on your emotional strings through your pocketbook. That's what they do. That's what they've been doing. That's what they're going to continue to do. So why don't you have money put to the side ready to buy the dip? I have to repeat the best thing to repeat. And I'll say it until you're able to say it. So I like to show my portfolios. I like to show my trades. It's not about how much money I make, but it's to show you that everybody's not making all these mistakes. You need to surround yourself with people who really understand. And that's why I like to promote Gareth Soloway and Camel Finance, people who do videos every day. I might not even do a video every day. I didn't do the video yesterday. It wasn't even necessary. Because one, people don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear that they're doing it wrong. Nobody wants to be wrong. Everybody wants to be correct when nobody wants to lose. But you're going to keep losing if you don't surround yourself with people who know and then constantly listen to the right information so that you can make a better educated decision, a better executive decision when it comes to your finances. And of course, our families depend on us to make those types of decisions. So I have to say what's necessary. And I can show you through my portfolios and my trades that I'm not taking L's like that. I can take some L's, but no, I'm using the price map, a price map that nobody else seems to have. So, and handing it to you for free because I'm not a predator. I'm not a gatekeeper. I'm not none of that. I want you to win. And nobody really knows who I am. I don't need anybody to know who I am, but if you're going to listen, I'm going to give you the best analysis that I can possibly give. It's probably the best analysis on earth, something that you're not going to see anywhere else. So shout out to the community of traders around the world, people who come in contact with this channel. Congratulations. Take it and do what you will with what you will. Get to the business, get to the bag, right? And maybe one day the people will step up and the community of traders will become what it's supposed to be. For the people, not the profits. We want to be consistent and persistent of doing the right things. Trading is life and life is trading. What you do in your life, you'll do in your trading. What you do in your trading, you'll do in your life. Do it correctly or get back in the bed. That's what we say. It's not to offend people. I'm smacking those spirits around. The disobedient, rebellious, ignorant, predatory, monitoring, lazy spirits that don't want to do things correctly. They chasing clout. They want to charge people for every time they think they figure something out. They want to charge you for it. No, for free. Just be able to implement and see it, say that you see it, and do what you say that you see. And if you keep applying the techniques, it's going to show. It's going to be a light bulb moment for you, and you're going to do nothing but win. The market moves with integrity through the price. If you don't understand the price, the basics, people are hitting the buy and sell button and don't even know the numbers. Literally don't know the numbers. You ask them where they entered at, they have to go and look at their device and try to figure out where they entered at. They have no clue of the price. And if you don't have a clue of the price, that means you don't have integrity. And if you don't have integrity, you're going to get wrecked, and you're going to go to loss review and get in the circle jerk, doing the kumbaya. That's what they do over there. I know. They tell me all the time. That's when people run away and don't have nothing to say because they know they don't have no good report. So that's just how it is. It's not going to change, because as long as the system continue to pull on your emotional strings, they're going to keep doing that, and you're going to keep being wrecked. Right? And we don't want that for you. We want the best for you. Hey, or have a good weekend, and we'll be back at it on Sunday. Market open, right? Use the scale, because there's nothing else to do but use the scale. Hey.